Hello kids, now here we'll start with our chapter 10, plants are useful to us. How are the plants useful? Plants give us food, they give us fruit, vegetables, we have seeds, flowers, we have plant products and plant also gives us oil. Now we can see more about this thing in this chapter. Plants are our food, they improve our air and they are used to make many things that we need such as medicines, clothes and paper. Plants take in the carbon dioxide gas that we breathe out and turn into oxygen. Plants gives us the vitamins and minerals we need to grow and stay healthy. Plants such as cotton are made into fabric and the fabric is used to make our clothes. A fruit is a structure of a plant that contains its seeds and from that seeds we can grow a new plant. Vegetable usually means an edible plant or part of a plant other than a sweet fruit or a seed. A seed is a small embryonic plant enclosed in a covering called seed coat, usually with some stored food. Seed is actually used to grow some new plants in different varieties. A flower, sometimes known as bloom or blossom, is the reproductive structure found in flowering plants, called as angiosperms. Now, fruits derived from plants are filled with fiber, as well as they can make the excellent additions to a fiber-rich diet. Plants are not just decorative, they can also clean and purify the air in our homes and they give us a freshness in our home and acts as an anti-pollutants. Now, we will start with the chapter 11, Animal Life. How is the life of the animal? How do they grow? What are the different types? This we'll learn in this chapter. Land animals, water animals, birds, animals home, what animals eat, wild and domestic animals, that are we going to learn in this chapter. Now, terrestrial animals. Terrestrial means the animals which live on land are like cat, dog, giraffe, elephant are called as terrestrial animals because they live on land. Water animals are also called as aquatic animals, which is like fish, octopus, shark, goldfish, different types. These are called as the aquatic animals which only live in water and they are also called as water animals. We have the third category, that is the amphibians. Amphibians is a combination of an animals which live both on the land as well as in the water. Like the frogs, crocodile, we can see that they are the amphibians. Amphibians means which live on the land as well as in the water. A number of animals have evolved aerial locomotion either by powered flight or by gliding. So, flying and gliding animals have evolved separately many times without any single ancestors. So, we have a gliding or a locomotion kind of, we have a snakes, we have lizard, so many these, we have earthworms. So, these kind can we say. Amphibians spend their lives in the water and on the land also. And amphibians are the class of vertebrate. Why vertebrate? Because vertebrate means those who have backbone. Yes, vertebrate means who have backbone. Vertebrata, that is the backbone, the spinal cord. Those who have are called as vertebrate animals, such as frogs, caecilians, salamanders, and many more. After this, we have food habits also differs from animal to animal. There are different animals who eat differently. Like cow eat grass, birds eat seeds, monkey eat fruit. So accordingly it depends on the food habit of their life. Wildlife traditionally refers to non-domesticated vertebrates but has to come broadly reference to all wild plants and animals and other organisms. So wildlife means all the wild animals are over there, like national parks, and we have conservation parks where all the wild life animals are converted over there, like they are protected over there and people like this is the place where people just cannot disturb them. Domestication means where the animals are taken care into the homes, into the human homes, and therefore they are taken care and therefore they are called as domestic animals. Now, chapter 12, in this we will learn about that animals are useful to us and how they are useful. What do they do that they are useful to us? So animals work for us. What is the animal work? Animals gives us food. Animals gives us other things. pets and domestic animals. So all these things we will learn in this chapter. Now, pets are useful animals that keep the people like children and elderly to be happy. So they feel that they are the part of the family. Animals have so much to offer to us, the humans. From the sea and the land, both all the animals are uses to mankind. So like each and every part, like we can see dogs, cats, elephant, a donkey, horse, anyone you can see that from the sea to the land, all the animals are uses of the mankind. The whales are known as to be helpful to man in the manufacture of perfumes. Yes, perfumes are made from the whales. Animals which carry loads are horses, elephants, camels and bullocks. So they make our work easier, but actually it's not good. We should not give them these kind of work. But still they help us in loading our luggage and all. Good manure is made from animal dung and dead animals. So the animals which are dead, animals dung is there, by that good manure is created and the manure is used for the plantation of trees. Animals which do not have backbone or skeleton are called invertebrates. Means they do not have a body structure, that is called as a invertebrates. And those who have a backbone or a bony skeleton or a spinal cord, that is known as a vertebrates. Just we did in the last chapter. Animals can move in different ways from one place to another in search of food and shelter, and they have different types of body organs. So they just not keep there in the one place only. They move from one way to another. Birds have wings so they can fly. The four limbs front of birds are converted into wings which have feathers. So birds is full of feathers in the body and it has wings. They has beaks for eating their food and they are dependent on the insect. They do eat insects also. Some insects have also one or two pairs of wings for flying. Example, butterfly, housefly, mosquito. These are called as the insects which have two pairs of wings only. Yes. So if I ask you which are the animals which have two pairs of wings, you will give me these answers. Animals eat different types of food and have different types of feeding organs. So it is not that every animal will eat the same food. It depends on the different kind of food which they eat according to their eating habitat. Now, we will start with our chapter 13, air. What is air? Air, which is around us, which is surrounded by us. It is everywhere. Air fills things, air has weight, and air moves things. So we will learn about this chapter, about these things in this chapter. So, air is everywhere. We just cannot see it, smell it, or taste it. So we often forgot that air is all around us. It is in everything we own, always touching us, always moving, and we are always feeling or seeing its effect. Even if you are sitting below the fan, we can feel the air, that is air coming from the fan. But it is not actually from the fan, it is generating the air which is surrounded by that fan. So you get the air. The atmosphere of Earth is a layer of gases surrounded the planet Earth. So this is a huge thing which we have to learn. Air actually occupies space and has weight. If you fill your balloon with air, it will blow up. Why? Because it has some weight in it. Air is a force, it moves things like a balloon moves upward. So it moved the thing. Wind blows light things around such as plastic bags. So if wind is blowing, your plastic bag will be flown away. Why? Because the wind has that much energy to keep that flowing away in its manner. Now, in the chapter 14, we are going to learn about water. Yes, water, which is the very much essential part of our life. From where do we get water? Dirty water and cleaning methods. Where do we get it, which we will learn first, and after that what is the dirty water and how are the methods of the cleaning is there. So now in this we will see first what is the main source. The rain is the main source of water. Water from Earth's surface evaporates and these water vapors from clouds come down during the form of the rain. These vapors condenses and come down as water in the form of rain. Most of the rainwater flows into river and some of it gets collected in the lakes, ponds and streams. River flows into the seas and water from seas merges into the oceans. So rainwater is the purest form of water, but as it reaches to the surface of earth, it becomes impure because then it gets mixed with the dust, smoke, mud and germs, etc. So therefore, if you directly collect the rainwater directly from the sky, then it will be a pure one. But if you will collect it from your railing, then it is not the good one. Some of the rainwater seeps under the ground. So if any water is coming from the railing, that you can store as a rainwater harvesting you can do, because there are some places where there is a there is a threat of water. There is no water. So afterward you can give some suggestions to those people that you can collect rain likewise. Now, air as a part of this underground water is taken by plants and the rest is taken out from wells, hand pumps and tube wells. So all the water which is collected on the underground is taken by the plants to grow. So therefore, whenever there is a rain, we feel very fresh and greenery everywhere. So plants are growing at that time. Water obtained from the rivers, lakes or underground water may be used for irrigation or for washing clothes, but it is not fit for drinking. This water should be boiled and filtered before it is used for drinking. In the cities, water from the rivers is purified and is made for drinking. We get this water through taps at home and offices. The tap water may still contain germs. It is advisable to boil and filter water before using it for drinking. So these are the methods by which we can clean the water and then use it. So therefore, this is the method of cleaning, and like this we have to use our water.